Please pay attention to this video. I'm going to go a lot slower than I normally do in my videos because I'm going to ask, are we about to be beheaded for the gospel? Thank you for tuning in to HardNews TV4. I'm your host, Terry Lynn, and this is the channel where truth is like archaeology, and every day we are digging for it. Today is November 15th, 2020. Let's get into this. Okay, so you see on my channel about a month ago, I did this video about concentration camps in Canada. And legislature, I guess like a member of the Senate in Canada, was asking the majority leader about the concentration camps in Canada. And I did a video how they cut his mic and how people started booing him and laughing at him. It is a very disturbing video, and before I finish this current video today, we're going to revisit this video. But let me show you what a subscriber sent me on a quest that found some very disturbing information. Okay, so a subscriber sent me this article from Mike Adams, Natural News. Canadian government publishes a bid request for programmable hydraulic guillotines needed in support of Canada's response to the virus. Guillotines in response to the virus. So I don't like to take my information from somebody's blog or website. I like to go to the original source. So I went and looked for it. And here it is. Government of Canada, programmable hydraulic guillotines. Now there's a piece of machinery that's called a hydraulic guillotine that is a shear machine that's got a blade that cuts things with it. But why would that even be used to fight the virus, okay? And why would a regular guillotine be needed to fight the virus? Because it's not about the virus, it's about taking out the resistors, okay? Because a guillotine, the only way a guillotine could heal your respiratory disease is to cut your head off from the body. A guillotine is not a medical device. It is a punishment device. It is a lethal instrument of death. Now let's go down into this. When you go scroll down, here's the order for it, programmable hydraulic guillotines. When you click on that, it's going to take you to this page. Okay, it says statement of requirement. Statistics Canada has a requirement for the purchase, delivery, offloading, commissioning of 2 programmable fully hydraulic guillotines, hereafter referred to as guillotines, including all the related accessories necessary to fulfill the present requirement, as well as hands-on training for its designated operators located in the National Capital Region. Okay, what did this make me think of, y'all? This is why they're letting prisoners out, putting people who are resisting them in, and they say they're letting them out of jail so they don't get the virus in jail or in prison. But they don't mind putting the resistors who aren't wearing a mask in there to get it. Okay, so they don't want you to not wear a mask and get it out here, but they can throw you in jail for not wearing your mask because they don't want you to get it out here and don't care if you get it there. Okay, but this is biblical. Revelations 24, and I saw the thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads. Okay? We are moving into biblical days. Okay? Y'all remember the arguments that we've been hearing the last couple of years? A drug shortage for lethal injection, 2016, 2018. Drug shortage for lethal injection. Okay, haven't y'all been hearing about that? How a shortage of lethal injection drugs? Okay, So I went and Googled how many people per year die by lethal injection annually. 46 people a year are injected. Do you think they're really running out of lethal injection medication? No, but it would be too time consuming and too expensive to kill hundreds of thousands of people worldwide who are resisting. Okay? And y'all think I'm being far reaching? Let me show you an article from 4 days ago. Now, before I even show you the title to this magazine, the national interest. So I'd never heard of it before, so I went and looked it up. The Natural Interest is an American bi-monthly conservative international affairs magazine, founded in 1985. Okay, look at this article. Conservative interest, okay? October 20th. Why the guillotine may be less cruel than execution by slow poisoning. Wow, I just saw the date, October 20th. And what was, look at this. I did this video October 18th. And 2 days later, this article, why the guillotine may be less cruel than execution by slow poisoning. So now they're going to make the humane argument on why cutting your head off is more humane to kill you than slow poisoning. Because they have an agenda. It needs to be fast, quick, efficient, and very low cost. Okay? Could using the guillotine be more humane than execution by lethal injection? Now let's just review real quick. They were claiming a shortage on lethal injections, okay? And only 46 people a year die by lethal injection. That's less than one person per state per month that would die by lethal injection. So they have plans to take out thousands of people that don't want to submit to this. And they're putting it out there how it's more humane. Concerns about the drugs used for executions are being raised again after the federal government announced it will once again execute inmates convicted of capital crimes almost 16 years after the last execution was carried out. So for 16 years they didn't even do lethal injection? International drug companies will no longer sell drugs for use in lethal injections in the United States. But Attorney General William Barr has authorized the federal justice system to use the widely available drug, I don't know how to say drugs names, despite concerns about whether their methods violates the 8th Amendment, which prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. Oh, cutting somebody's head off is not cruel and unusual? It's not unusual that your head would be disconnected from your body. In common use, the drug controls seizures in humans and is often used to euthanize pets. In 2014, several executions carried out by states with untested methods using a mixture of drugs caused suffering and took hours to end prisoners' lives. Among them was a botched execution of Oklahoma inmate Clayton Lockett, who thrashed around in pain for 43 minutes before dying. So let's keep going. It talks about the old methods of killing people. Not everybody suffered so terribly, however. This parade of horrors was the fate of commoners. For nobles, a quick, relatively painless, and more dignified beheading replaced an hours-long public display. It's dignified? It's dignified? Really? Do y'all see the twisting of words? It's dignified to have your head caught in a basket and your body flopping around like a chicken with his head cut off laying on the platform? That's dignified? Do y'all see where this is going? They are making the argument on why they need to bring it back. It will be cheap, It will be 100% effective with no margin of it not being successful. It can kill masses at no cost to the government, okay? So, now let's go back and remember we're talking about that Canada is ordering guillotines. And we're going to play this video again of this man who is, maybe I'll show my own video so I don't get a strike against me. Okay, that's just what I'll do. I'll leave y'all the link to that other one, but I'll show y'all mine. I am concerned that mine is going to have that feedback on it. So we're just going to try this. Here we go.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. In my supplemental question yesterday, I asked this government if the people of Ontario should prepare for internment camps. In September, the federal government posted a call for expressions of interest for contractors to supply, provide, and manage quarantine isolation camps throughout every province and every territory in Canada. These quarantine isolation camps, however, are not limited to people with COVID, but provide a wide latitude for many people to be detained. Surely this government is aware of the intentions to build these isolation camps from coast to coast. And my question to the Premier is, how many of these camps will be built, and how many people does this government expect to detain?
Question. Government House Leader.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm stopping it just for a second. I've played 1 minute. I don't want to get a copyright strike. So y'all heard him lay it out there. So now listen to the response.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is very true that when people leave the country and when they come back in, that the province is suggesting, and the federal government, in cooperation with the federal government, we are suggesting that people isolate themselves. That has been a practice that has been very successful, not only here in the province of Ontario, but across Canada. And we will, of course, be redoubling our efforts to make sure that the people of the province of Ontario remain safe, Mr. Speaker. So if the member is referring to the fact that that one of the public health policies is that when you return from a jurisdiction outside of the province of Ontario or from another country, that you isolate yourself for 2 weeks, I would suggest that has been a good policy that has been working. In fact, this House has been doing the same thing since we came back. We are working in cohorts to make sure that the Legislative Assembly can continue to operate. That's why we have 2 separate cohorts, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so before I finish, do y'all hear the spin? So the question was, are there isolation camps that are picking up people that don't even have the virus? So he's putting the spin on it, and the guy's going to call him out on it.
Speaker,
response.
With the cooperation of the official opposition. That is why all members of the independents have been excluded from that cohort, because we want them to be able to participate in debate. So we will continue to do everything in our power to make sure that this House continues, but that the people of the province of Ontario and Canada are kept safe.
Supplementary question.
Again, back to the Premier. Here's the RFP. And in the RFP, it uses clear language to express that these camps can be used for a broad spectrum of people, not limited to travelers. Indeed, it doesn't even mention international travelers. It's just a broad latitude of people. And I'll send over the copy of the RFP after. So your government must be in negotiations and aware of these plans to potentially detain and isolate citizens and residents of our country and our province. So, Speaker, to the Premier, where will these camps be built? How many people will be detained?
Listen
and
to them
for
laugh.
For what reasons can people be kept in these isolation camps? And I'd like to have the Premier assure the people of Ontario.
Member, take a seat.
So they're laughing and they're saying, sit down. Now, they were clapping when the guy said these camps are just to put people into quarantine to make sure nobody gets it. But then when he reads the actual document, they're laughing at him and they're telling him to sit down. They don't want this out. Let's let the last 7 seconds play.
The next question.
Okay, so they didn't finish it. So I just wanted to show y'all this. Thank you to the subscriber that sent me the original link that got me to the official link that brought me down this rabbit hole, and how just not even a month ago they were trying to sell our psyche that it's humane and dignified to have your head chopped off. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what y'all think. I am mind boggled to see the scriptures becoming more alive every day with end time prophecy. It's not a joke. We have got to get ourselves together spiritually, purify our hearts, and make sure our hearts are ready to meet the Lord, whether we die or stay or whatever. It's not a joke no more. Y'all please leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.